I'd like to welcome Amie Hoff.
Hi, everybody. My name is Amie Hoff, and welcome to the core strengthening class. I am so glad that all of you are here. Again, I'm Amie Hoff. I am a personal trainer, and I am the co-founder of Fit Kit Wellness, where we offer wellness kits for nutrition, fitness, and for stress management. So you can hop into the lobby or into the table to go check out my expo booth, and there's all kinds of links in there, and we are offering a 30% discount off of any of our wellness kits starting tomorrow. And just use the code BIG October, and you can see the link in all the information at my table, and it's fitkit.com. I am so glad that you guys are all here taking this step to really challenge your bodies, but also your minds. And I hope that when this is all over, the month is over, you've taken away a ton of nuggets and information and tips long after this is over. So this class is for all levels. So I'm going to be doing some modifications of some of the moves for everybody. So there's something for everyone in the class. All of the classes, all of the exercises are going to be done on the floor. So hopefully you have either a yoga mat, a towel is fine, or even just the rug. I just would rather you not be on a hard surface like a concrete or hardwood floors. Excuse me. Well, if you do have any questions, they might come up during the class. If they're really, really important, there's a little Q&A tab on the right corner of your screen. You can click on that, and I can hopefully try to see that as the class is going on. But I really encourage you to hold all questions to the end and come join me where I can answer any questions on wellness, on fitness, on health in general. I'd be happy to answer any of those questions. We're just going to log out of here. You go back into the lobby, and there's going to be a featured class tab there for the Q&A. So you can just click on that, come on over and join me there. So with that, we are going to get started. I'm going to tilt this down a little bit so you can see me. So what we're going to do, we're working the core, which is the entire abdominal and lower back area. So it's going to be the abdominals and the lower back, as well as the side, those little love handles. So what I want to do is, a lot of people ask me the proper way to do a crunch. So I want to start with that. So what you're going to do is you're going to plant your feet flat on the ground. Also, I would love it if you had on some sneakers. If you don't, that's fine. But if you do have them, let's grab them, put them on, because there's going to be a couple moves that I want to make sure we don't slide the feet around. So for basic crunch, a lot of people will put their hands behind the head, and they'll kind of pull up on that neck and kind of lift like this, so that they're trying to reach up, go right through the legs. What I want you to do is to just try this. Put your hands behind your head very loosely. You're not even really holding on. You're just gently touching the back of your head. And I want you to think about, from your pelvic bone up to your chest bone, think of that as being completely straight, and you're lifting it straight up to the ceiling. So instead of going like this, I want you to lift straight up and back down. And what that does is it creates you're strengthening from all the way from the pelvic bone all the way to the top. So you're engaging that whole entire core area. So let's all do that. Put your hands gently behind the head, lifting straight up to the ceiling. You don't have to get up very high. You really, really don't. I want you to breathe while you're doing it. Try not to hold your breath. If you do want to make this a little bit more challenging, what you can do is you can take your hands, you're going to slide them right up and down your knees. So you have to have a strong neck to do this. So just make sure that you use your neck, lifting up. What this does is it allows you to get a little bit higher. But you see, I'm not reaching this way. I'm, again, lifting straight up to the ceiling, keeping those hands gently rolling up the leg, the knees, just like that. So people often ask, how many of these should I do? Well, the answer is, typically you want to do, I'd say 15 to 20, work your way up to 25 and do 3 sets of that. But today, we're going to be going over about 7 or 8 exercises, so you really only need to do it once. And what you can do is you can come back. This class is going to be offered in a library, so you can come back and pick and choose the ones that you really liked, maybe just do 2 or 3 of them for 3 sets of 20. Or you can do the whole routine just like this and just do each one. So that is a basic crunch with the hands behind the head, and making it more challenging, hands on the knees. So now what we're going to do is a reverse crunch. So you're going to place your hands on the ground, bring your knees up to a 90-degree angle, And then you're gonna use your core to tighten and control the legs to going down, tap them gently, come right back up again, just like that. You don't want to have your arched back. You don't want to have any room back here. So you really want to flatten that back out, lifting those legs, tapping them down. If you have a problem with your lower back, some people have lower back issues, you can bring your feet closer to your butt, just like this. That just kind of alleviates some of that lower back pressure. Okay, so back up to here. Again, we're going to do about 15 or 20, and you want to work your way up to 25. And I am sure, like me, you guys are starting to really feel this right in the core. We don't want to go too fast because then all this is momentum. You're just really using that momentum. Now, to make this one a little bit more challenging, what you can do is add in that first move that we did so that you're bringing it together and tapping right down, lifting and tapping. Again, lifting towards the ceiling and tapping down. You don't want to use momentum again, all in the core, lifting straight up. Now, for those superstars out there, if you want to make it even more challenging, you can do that same move, but straighten out those legs and bring them in and lift. So this is a more advanced, very advanced move, all the way up, lie that head back down and up again. Awesome. Okay. Whew. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a vertical crunch. So both legs are straight up in the air, hands behind the head, same thing, lifting straight up. Now you're not going to get up as high on this one, and that's fine. I just want you to really tighten that core, use the core to lift yourself up. Keep going, making sure you're breathing. Now, to make this one a little bit more challenging, we can add lifting up the butt. So it's going to be like that, right? So we're going to do that at the same time, hands behind the head, lifting that butt at the same time. You're not getting it too far off the ground, just enough to engage the core. We don't want to use momentum. Good, keep going, or not lifted. And the beauty about this is if you're feeling really adventurous and you want to do 4 or 5 lifting the butt and then go back to this, that's fine. That's how we get stronger. You don't have to do them all. You can do baby steps. We love baby steps. All right, so that is the vertical. All right, so now what we're going to do, hands back at the side, we're going to do alternating leg drops. So both legs up in the air, keeping your feet flexed, dropping one at a time, lifting it right back up again, and then alternating to the other side. When you go down, you are going to feel it pulling on the oblique. So it's a little bit more on one side than the other side. Good, keep going, breathe, try not to hold your breath. Now, to make this one more challenging, we can do where you lift the head up and off and keep it in that stabilized position as you lower each leg, just like that. Just make sure you're not using momentum. It's all about controlling with those abs. I'm starting to burn. Oh, I'm sure you guys are too. Oh, whew. Okay, take a break. Now, if you have water, now is a great time to take a sip. And we're going to move on to the next one. What I want to do though is let's stretch that out real quick. Those abs that we just worked. You can lie on your belly. Put your hands right next to your elbows right next to your side, and just press up very gently and really feel it stretch all through the chest and abs. You're going to feel it all the way up from the chest bone down to the pelvic bone, and just really stretch out those muscles that we just worked. One more time. Good. Okay, let's go back onto the back. Now what we're going to do is one of my favorites. It's called the windshield wiper. We're going to be working the obliques right here on the side, which are the little love handles. So what we're going to do is we're going to bend the knees, 90-degree angles. Hands are going to go out a little bit wider than we have been having them. And you are going to use your core, drop your legs over to the side, very gently, slowly come back up and right over to the other side. Now this one, I really want you to pay attention to the core, the obliques. So when you drop to the right, right about here, you're really going to engage your left oblique, and that's what you're going to use to lift it back up to the middle. In this side, you're using your right oblique. You can even put your hands right here and really feel those abs and obliques engage to make sure that you're really working them to the max. Now, to make this one a little bit more challenging, straighten those legs up and over to the side. Ooh, burning, burning, I feel it. Keep going. Now, if you want to do something in between, you can take it to about here. So this is where we started. This is where I just went. And there's that happy medium right in the middle. Again, you can work your way up, but it's all about making sure that it's not momentum. You're not swinging like this, because that's really just the legs doing the work. You really want to go nice and slow, making sure it's pulling from the core all the way over and back up again. Nice. Good. Let's do a few more. I tend not to count. If you're somebody who needs to know numbers, you can count. I try to rely more on my muscles and how I'm feeling. I don't want to have to stop if I get to, let's just say 20. I said I was going to do 20. What if I get to 20, but I could actually do more? There's no reason why I should stop. Why not challenge my body a little bit more and go maybe another 3 or 4? So love for you to try that one. Now, what we're going to do is flip over for a plank. So a plank is something that sort of everybody has been doing these days. It's become very popular. And what we're going to do is I just want to show you the proper way to do a plank. So you want to make sure that your elbows are right underneath your shoulders, and you're going to straighten your legs out. This is why I wanted you to wear sneakers so you're not slipping. If you don't have sneakers, I'd rather you take off your socks so that you use your skin is a little bit more grippy than your socks. So you're going to come up. Now, what a lot of people do is they have their butt way up here, or they're swaying their back like that. I want you to keep a straight line, right? Just like that. So you're going to be tightening up the core. And all we're going to do is just sit here. And you can challenge yourself. Start with 20 seconds, work yourself up to 30 seconds, work yourself up to a minute. And to make it more challenging, you can tap each knee down, just like this. Kind of shakes things up a little bit. So that's a little bit more advanced move. A really advanced move is if you tap your toes out. Let me show you what that looks like here. Tapping your toes out to the side while we're doing that, but just make sure that you maintain that position, right? So we've been going for probably about 20 or 30 seconds, maybe a little bit more. Keep going. While you keep going, I am going to show you another variation. I'm going to show you this way. This is on your hands and your toes. So it's going to look like this from the side, from the front, just like this. And what we're going to do, this is a very advanced move, but you will get there, I promise. So you're going to slide over to the side with your hips, tap the back of the hand. And all you want you to do is really feel this as you rock side to side. Use the core and make sure that your hands are right underneath your shoulders. So it's going to look like this from the side. Tap. I'm just gently rocking my butt side to side, my hips side to side. So again, that's a very, very advanced move, but I encourage all of you to work your way up to that. So now, that was a lot of core work and oblique work. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of lower back work to strengthen up the lower back, because that's an area when people are doing abs, they tend to forget. So one of my favorite is called the bird dog. We're going to go on to all fours, just like this. What you're going to do is do an opposite leg and arm. So I'm going to go with my right arm and my left leg, keeping your head in line with the spine. You are going to straighten out your right arm and left leg. So this is a balance exercise as well as a core lower back exercise. You want to make sure that the arm that's down on the ground is right underneath your shoulder. Now, you can hold this, or to make it a little bit more challenging, you can tap the arm, tap the leg up and down, just like that. If you want to make it really challenging, take your elbow to the knee, right underneath you. That makes it a little bit more challenging, just like that. You don't have to do this. You can hold it out just like this and come down and rest for a second. Now, before we go to the other side, there's one more advanced move. This is for those people who it's a superstar move, and I know all of you will get there. You just got to keep practicing. So you're going to go back to that same position. Now, I want you to close the eyes. So this is going to really ask your proprioceptor muscles to really come into effect so that you have to balance. Keep those eyes closed. If you can, if not, open them and close them, open them and close them. And then even more challenging, bring that knee to the elbow as you have those eyes closed, okay? So that's a great one to work your way up to. So now let's go over to the other side. So we're not lopsided. So this time we're gonna do the left arm and the right leg. Again, make sure that that hand is right underneath the shoulder. You're gonna keep your core nice and tight. If you want to do a little bit more advanced, tap and lower, tap and lower. A little bit more advanced from that, knee to the elbow. This really takes a lot of balance. It's perfect to work up to it, even if you only do a few of them. All right, then you can close your eyes. Ooh, see, I'm closing my eyes. That's very challenging. Ooh, but I like a challenge. I love a challenge. Okay, so whew, that felt good. All right, so let's come back, lie back down on the ground. So again, we're doing like 8 or 9 of these exercises. You do not need to do all of these exercises for an ab workout. You can pick 2 or 3 of them and do 3 sets of maybe 20 or 25, work your way up to that. I just wanted to give you a whole arsenal of them to have, so you can also come back into the library to do another workout. This is going to be in the library, and you can come back and check it out at any time. All right, so this next exercise is another core exercise, but it's got a bonus. It's working the booty. Who doesn't want that? All right, so it's going to be some bridges. So you're going to plant your feet probably about 6 or 8 inches away from your butt. You're going to push through the heels of your feet, hands at your side, tighten your core, and just lift straight up, squeeze the glutes and back down. Squeeze the glutes. I want to try to get as high as you can. Tighten the abs. Keep the glutes tight. Keep going. Good. Now, if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, work your way up to this. You can put one leg up in the air and lift and down and up and down and up and down. Good. Then maybe if you get tired, you come back to the center and you continue. But if you did do one leg, you want to make sure, again, you're not lopsided. So let's do the other one up in the air. Just a little bit, right up through the heel. One of the most important things you have to remember is to breathe. A lot of people really hold their breath when they're doing these exercises. You really want to make sure you breathe. Okay, finish off back to the center, a couple extras for good measure. And there we go. Now, one last exercise I want to do is the side plank. This again is for the obliques. It also gets a little bit of the upper body of the shoulder. So there's a number of variations that you can do. The first one is you're on your knees, bend your knees at about, I don't know, a 90-degree angle, and your elbow is right underneath your shoulder. You're gonna put your hand on your hip or in front of you if you need a little stability. Prop yourself up. You're gonna feel it all through the core. Let me straighten out a little bit. There we go, just like that. So you're feeling it here. That's a very beginner move. If you wanna make it a little bit more challenging, straighten those legs, stack the feet, prop yourself up, put your hand on your hip and hold that. Another advanced move, put your arm up in the air. Hold it just like that. Keep holding. If you get tired, bring your arm down, and then you can even come down to here. You need to do what your body feels comfortable with. One last advanced move is if you are up here, you can take this arm and you can bring it down and come through and back up again. And I'm showing these to you not to show off, because trust me, they're very, very hard. I just want you to work up to them. I want you to give you something. Whoops, my headphone fell out. I want to give you something to work towards. That's why I'm giving these to you. So let's flip over to the other side. And again, if anybody has any questions whatsoever, make sure that you come join me right after this. We're going to start here. All you need to do is go back to the lobby and go to the featured class Q&A. Just click that and join and come on in. So this is the beginner move. Straighten out the legs, a little bit more challenging. Hold that, arm up in the air. Make it more challenging, and then rock it under. Just like that. And under. Good. You want to try to hold this for about 15 to 30 seconds if you can, working yourself up to, I don't know, maybe 45 seconds if you can. So that's it. So again, if you want to try these again, you can come back. This is going to be in the library. And I also want to invite you after this to come to the Q&A sessions. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. But also, I'm going to be teaching a booty, thighs, and hips class. And that is next Monday at noon. That's not to be missed. And then I also have a lower body and back stretching class, and that's going to be on Tuesday, October 19th at noon. So I really hope to see you at one of those classes, but come on over to the Q&A. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. I hope to see you there.